Anyway, we got GOP fundraiser extraordinaire Noelle Nikpour, retire-inspired author Chris Hogan, one of the smartest guys I know in this stuff, because by the end of the show, we're going to need to know how to plan for the future, because it's looking like a dicey future. Charlie Gasparino, last but not least. Charlie, what's going on with this war or not?
You sounded like the old Larry Kudlow there. I was going to say, what happened? What happened to my buddy? I love that. Larry's a good friend of mine.
Wonderful person.
I wrote a column in the Post today based on interviews with Wall Street executives. Let's back up.
Very good column.
Wall Street knows Trump really well. They lent him money over the years. He screwed them left and right. They know that you literally have to discount.
Well, he didn't screw all of them left.
He screwed 90% of them. 70 banks he had to cut deals with him over his real estate and casinos, and he didn't quite default, but he had to do workouts. He almost defaulted on junk bonds.
So they know the guy, and
they know the guy.
What?
They don't trust him. They think he's full of it. And ironically, all this trade stuff, I believe.
Well, he's president, and they're not.
But I know that. But ironically, all this trade stuff, they think it's one big pile of BS, and that he won't go through with it, based on their prior experience with him.
Well, but some ironically, they may not like tariffs, but it's got China's attention, and I think that's part of
saying the reason
that might compel them to at least do something.
But the reason why the market's up, that's why I'm pointing. The Wall Street guys just don't believe he's going to go through it, because he doesn't go through with a lot of stuff he says.
Well, but they could be anticipating that a deal is struck, right?
Well, they could. I think this is a lot of conjecture, but this is business dealings. I mean, if you think about this, you've got two sides, two very strong-willed sides, really trying to get what they want. And so now it's a matter of laying the cards on the table to find out who's going to blink first. What do we really want, and what are we going to end up at?
You know his view, the president's view has been for decades, right? The Chinese need us a heck of a lot more than we need them. We always catch out to them. We shouldn't do that. In negotiating tactics, is that a good strategy to take, to reverse what has been going on in the past?
Well, I think if you're trying, nothing changes till something changes, right? And I think what he's trying to do is the punch in the nose to get their attention, and then to try to hug it out and talk about it.
Well, I would send you there, because your voice is so scary, threatening. Because everyone else is not going to have as deep a voice.
Well, I mean, as you look at this, we all know how to do business. How do you approach something like this, where you can't force someone to do anything, but what you're trying to do is move the needle in the right direction.
And get the other side to realize we have got to get over this hump, right?
That's right.
I should point out that the guys that are controlling the market know Trump. They don't believe he's a great negotiator. They believe he's full of it. And I am telling you, when you go down the line...
You never have a good word.
No, but I'm just telling you that he's got a long history, and I covered it for years. They don't believe he's going to go through with a trade war.
Is this the same crowd that didn't think that he would ever declare for president or ever think that he would get elected?
They never cared. They never cared.
Well, I'm just saying, we've had our run-ins on about the fact that
this is the crowd that controls...
But he got those tax cuts, right?
This is the crowd.
He got those regulations.
Right, that's
so
great.
Maybe he gets the trifecta with it.
Well, no, I don't. I'm not saying he doesn't get a deal out of China. What I'm saying is that they don't believe, when dollars comes to donuts, that all his rhetoric on trade is
This is the fastest you have gotten a negative email. Tell Charlie he's full of it. Mrs. Charlie Gasparino.
What would my mother say to that?
From your wife.
What would my mother say to that?
I just want to know who's going to be collateral damage, because if this thing goes as follows...
Well, right now farmers are.
Then that's going to be... but there's more, because the farmers will be collateral damage, and then maybe some of his voter base in some of these states, if you look at...
let's just say
layoffs. If there's some layoffs with these people.
Consumers, by the way, might like this, because ironically, this sounds weird. But when you talk about soybeans, all those prices collapsing, pork bellies collapsing and all of that we would pay less at the store for that stuff.
And
that's kind of weird.
That would be a good thing with his base as well. But it's a twofold issue, because if you start having small town USA, you start having, some layoffs as a result of this, then people are going to take notice. People don't, the average everyday Joe doesn't really look at the markets and things until it pertains to them, until it affects them.
They don't care about the stock market so much. They don't care about their jobs, although they look at their portfolio. I mean, listen, everybody's in the market now. But again, I get back to the point, that the smart money, the people with money in the game, they are looking at this as a glass half full scenario.
Well, they're bullish on the economy. Navarro's bullish on the economy.
And people that have dealt with them think that it's all bluster.
But there is a lot you were mentioning about the kind of things you build into this to try to extract concessions or whatever. There are a lot of generous timetables here. 60-day cooling off period before you even talk about another cooling off period. That in one case would be 180 days. So you have a lot of time to sit down, negotiate, wrangle out something. happening, right?
Well, I think so. I think it's a matter of, can we get everybody to the table to have an open and honest discussion? That's the key. Right now, what we're doing.
Do you think you can get an open, honest discussion with the Chinese, though? The president's right on this. And I think, Charlie, you'd readily agree. They have been, zooming us for decades.
They steal our stuff.
They steal our stuff and all. So you're sitting down, people have been fooling you for a long, long time now. You also get something out of that relationship. We have, our businesses have, or we wouldn't be there. But can you trust the person against whom you're speaking?
Well, I think it's one of those. Now it's not a matter of asking them to come and be willing to give up some things. Now what we're trying to do is to force them into it, right? Because both sides need each other.
Listen, the Chinese will say, can we trust Trump? Given his record.
Oh, you're right about it. No, you're absolutely
look
right.
at his negotiations with banks and junk bond holders.
That's a good point.
And they're going to turn around and say, this guy screwed everybody in Jersey.
That's a good point.
Well, you might be right about real quickly, guys, the reversal in some of the things that were getting hit hard and that were supposed to be victims of this trade war that's not a war, as Kudlow was telling me. Boeing, battered up today. Caterpillar, battered up today. Facebook, separate issue, battered up today. AMD, part of that semiconductor route that we thought was going to be affected by the Chinese just, killing it. Now reports that they're going to increase their semiconductor purchases from us up again. So
Amazon's up today, too.
Amazon, yes, it is.
Yep.
So reading into that, I know you're not a stock guy per se, but if I'm an investor, I'm reading this, I might have gotten worried and I might have been selling off. How do you guide investors who are basing their decision to put money in this market or stay in this market on a trade war?
Well, here's the thing, Neil. Bottom line is if you've got to have your money in the game and you've got to grow your money because of inflation. So you have to have it involved. But I look at it and I think...
What if you think you're going to get burned?
Well, but here's the thing. It's the long-term play. We know investing is long-term. So I can't take a snapshot and look at it and think that's the whole movie. The investing, the strategy.
I know. What's long-term?
I mean, for me, I'm looking at 5 years out.
Although, if it's
long-term for me is lunch tomorrow.
And you're right. By the way, 5 years, you can lose your net worth in two. But
and look at 2000 from our height in technology, right before the crash. And you didn't make that up for another decade.
Well, I think this: if you're the average investor, if you think we're going into a trade war, a real war, not this sort of BS stuff, you got to be very defensive. You got to be more.
What's defensive?
I'd be in cash. Right?
That's what they're saying, cash.
If you think we're going to a trade war, I am telling you,
it's good to have
But you don't.
The smart money.
You don't think we are.
The smart money. Okay, forget about me. The smart money doesn't think we're going there.
He didn't want to answer that. Forget about me.
But I think,
it's always about you.
But if you're involved in single stocks, you already know you got a bottle of Pepto right beside you, right, daily, because that's the ebb and flow. That's the volatility. And so looking at that, you've got to understand your risk tolerance, what you can stomach.